All right, Aries, welcome to your January of 2016 Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology, which you can find more about down below. All right, so this month, everything kicks off here, astrologically speaking, on the 5th, with Mercury going retrograde in your, technically right on the cusp between your 9th and your 10th house, between Sagittarius and Capricorn. So maybe there is some things that maybe you're shifting direction with in regards to your career, or in regards to anything on that big picture level involving your future to a slight degree, but I think most of the retrograde will be involving your 9th house. So between the 5th through the 25th, it's a good time to reflect on your life path. How's your life unfolding? How can you expand your horizons? Maybe there's some things that you have been focused on or have been thinking about in regards to spirituality or philosophy or your outlook on life. And so all of that is going through this reflective time period now this month, and it is a great time to rehash and redo any of those 9th house things. It can be travel, it can also be university studies, anything involving wisdom and expansion. So that's going to be right at the beginning. Then the 7th through the 8th, we've got Jupiter going retrograde in your 5th house of self-expression. So that's going to be going on for the next 5 months here in regards to you reflecting on what your interests are in life. What are you passionate about? Expressing yourself, things like that. And it's been a place where you have been learning quite a bit, I would say, with that Jupiter. But during the retrograde, it is more of an internal learning about your own personal perspective of your interests and passions and things that you feel like are important to you in life. So it's a good time to rehash and redo, again, anything involving that 5th house. 5th house is essentially creativity. Could be your relationship with your children, for those of you who have children in your life. Could be anything to do with romance, small business, entrepreneurship, speculation. These kinds of things are sort of shifting into a more internal direction this month. Then on the 9th, we have the new moon in Sagittarius, which is going to be, again, that 9th house, so new beginnings in regards to expanding those horizons. The early part of the month is a good time to reflect on how your life path is going. Where can you plant seeds for this next 6 months in regards to your outlook, your future? Again, university, travel, any of those things could be highlighted as well. And it is very transformative. It's going to be conjoining up to Pluto and squaring up to Uranus, so keeping everything nice and balanced with that. We'll be trining up to the North Node, who's going to be conjoining up to Jupiter pretty much all month, going exact on the 23rd and going into February as well. So there's a lot of, with these shifts with your self-expression, there's a lot of support to express yourself, especially because the North Node's going into this part of your chart for the next 2 years. So the whole life path and everything is supporting you very much to follow those interests, hobbies, creative pursuits, what have you. Now also on the 9th, Venus is going to go over Saturn. So everything that maybe you've been building with the deeper aspects of life, what's really meaningful to you, there's lots to enjoy about that this month, especially with Venus in the 8th. You can really enjoy those deeper connections. Maybe you really understand what your deeper values are in life, etc. On the 18th, Mars trines up to Neptune. Pretty nice aspect surrounding this middle part of the month. So here, there's been a lot of, I think, motivation and drive for maybe the daily stuff, your routine, your work. And so this can actually be quite easygoing in that sense. So especially when it's involving any organizations or groups, a lot of that's very supportive in regards to your motivation and drives. For all of us, there's that easygoingness, and for you, I think, really putting that into anything you're involved with. It is your ruler, in fact, but I think with you guys personally right now, there is a lot of focus and good attention to be utilized with the daily activities. Now, on the 21st, we've got the sun shifting into Capricorn, so there's going to be that shift into the career stuff, which, again, maybe you got an inclination of at the beginning of the month, but now the focus really shifts here for these last couple of weeks. And this is where you're going to have the next new moon. So it's a good time later part of the month to really start to focus while you're rehashing your life path and maybe what your purpose is in life. Just applying it in regards to your career, I think, is a good focus and attention. I think you can learn quite a bit. Your guys' energy levels could be quite high, as they typically are this time of year, with the sun at the top of the chart. And there's a lot of energy that can be gained too through anything that's future oriented or involving your legacy. Now on the 22nd, Mercury goes over Pluto before he goes direct on the 25th. So there is transformations, as there has been with all of this. And then he goes back over on the 30th. So really being open to changing your life path this month, all month, with the new moon, with Mercury going retrograde over it. And you got a little bit of an inclination of this back in December when Mercury went over Pluto for the first time of these 3 conjunctions. So anything that maybe you've been thinking about with the life path, again, being open to change there, but also being open to changing your communications. How do you communicate? How do you interact? How's your social life? And even the routine, because Mercury rules both your 3rd and your 6th house. So being open to change in both areas there. The routine, the daily stuff, a lot of that's shifting anyways. And also how you communicate and exchange or learn in life. Being open to that is very supportive this month. Now on the 23rd, we've got a full moon in Cancer. So things could be culminating with home, family, or with health this month, but at the very least, you could be gaining some tremendous insights during this time if you want to put energy into that area of life. But you do see the high point, you do see what's possible with it, so it's a good way to integrate that with the other areas. Then, like I said, also on the 23rd, we have an exact conjunction with Jupiter and that North Node, where things have been shifting, where, again, I still think this month there's a lot of energy with the health, the diet, the routine, the work, whatever it is here in that 6th house. But now with the North Node shifting out of there for the next 2 years, a lot of expansion, this early part, but a lot of support for you to, again, express yourself, follow your interests, your hobbies, and things that are close to your heart. Now, Venus at the same time on the 29th goes into Sagittarius, or excuse me, no, on the 23rd as well. On the 23rd, Venus goes into Sagittarius. So with this reflection and rehashing, redoing with these more expansive views of life, it's, I think, more enjoyment to be had. Maybe connecting to people abroad, maybe enjoying nature, maybe enjoying traveling, whatever it is that maybe is shifting up for you here. It could be studying philosophy, discussing philosophy with friends, with your relationships. Venus really, you can really enjoy that stuff with Venus there. And then the month tops off on the 27th with your ruler going into Libra. So there is that shift at the very end of the month, going from, again, the routine stuff, the daily stuff, into more of the relationships. Maybe asserting the relationships, going after any goals or drives or ambitions, involving partnerships. Could be spouse, romantic, but all kinds of one-to-one connections. I think you're going to be focused on that. There's a lot of drive and energy for that going into February. All right. So Aries, have a great month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Take care.